What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, bringing you guys our Week 10 team builder in PGL. It is the last week of PGL, and your Detroit Type Nulls are taking on Coach Shadow Link and the New Jersey Shellos. This matchup is insanely difficult, and if I'm being quite honest, frankly, I'm not concerned which way this battle goes one way or another. He has a fantastic team. Let me double check standings right now. Just so you guys know, we are second in the division, I want to say. Let me double check. Right now, we are second in the gold division, and he is somewhere. Where is this at? Where is this at? I gotta find out where he's at in the division. He is number 4th in the division. So we're number 2, he's number 4. I'm pretty sure we're guaranteed playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, just looking at records as far as our divisions go. Yeah, I think if I'm looking at that right, I think we're guaranteed playoffs. But if we're not, and we're out of the playoffs, so be it. I'm not too concerned either way. I think we did good for the two matches that we had. We had a 6-0 our first game in the season, and then an insanely close 1-0 loss our next match in. So if we bring home a W, awesome. If we don't bring home a W, you know, so be it, man. It was a fun run. It was a fun run, and I really like this team. I got to use some different Pokemon. But you guys see the team right above the screen. We'll talk about it. First up here, he has Pheromosa, and I know if you guys are new, you guys just tuning in, you're like, who allowed Pheromosa? This league did allow S-tier picks, which can be considered Ubers. Our S-tier pick was Victini, so we still do have a really powerful Pokemon, but Pheromosa was his S-tier pick. So fast, 151 base speed, 137 attack and special attack with a beast boost ability, can be absolutely terrifying. Landorus Therian with the Intimidate ability, one of his Z users, can really do a number to a team. With setting up with Swords Dance, setting up with Rock Polish, just dropping Z flies and things like that. Aggron, Mega Aggron with the filter ability. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze at some point here. Mega Aggron with the filter ability. So hits so very hard from the physical side. You really gotta nuke that boy. You gotta nuke that boy. And we got a couple nukes on the team for it, but it does so much. Vaporeon, great wish support, solid water type Pokemon with the water absorbability, can wish pass, can baton pass, can toxic, can roar. Alolan Persian, another super fast mon with either the fur coat or the technician ability. Parting shots, taunts, U-turns, things like that, really cool. Hits his other Z user. Whimsicott, fast grass and fairy type Pokemon. We've used Whimsicott in the what league do we have Whimsicott in? P4G. I had to think about what league we had Whimsicott in. We got Whimsicott in there right now. Super fast, really cool Prankstermon. He's got Entei, which hits so very hard. Sacred Fire's 50% chance to burn, has priority and extreme speed as well. The Gengar, which we are familiar with in NPA. Super fast, 110 base speed. It does have the Cursed Body ability as opposed to Levitate, 130 attack. Can Will-O-Wisp, can Destiny Bond, can Shadow Ball, can Sludge Wave. Electros, bulky electric type Pokemon with the Levitate ability, so we can't really hit that thing too hard, but we gotta try our best. Haxorus, great dragon type Pokemon with the ability to set up either in forms of Dragon Dances or Swords Dances as the Mold Breaker or the Unnerve ability. I definitely would anticipate the Unnerve ability, maybe Mold Breaker, just to get through Cresselia's like Levitate, but I'm pretty certain it's gonna be Unnerve. And then Espeon, fast Psychic type Pokemon with the Magic Bounce, can toss off side beams, do a bunch of other cool stuff. So some things to note about his team: Rockers in the form of Landorus Therian and Mega Aggron, no Spike Setters, which is cool. Pheromosa is a rapid spinner, Landorus Therian and Whimsicott are defoggers, and then he has 3 Heal Bell users in the form of Espeon, Vaporeon, and Persian. So let's talk a little bit about our team here. Let me pull up some, let me pull up my notes here really quickly that I have on the team. One of these days I'm gonna remember to do that beforehand. I deleted all my notes. Okay, never mind. So, right here, we have a very interesting Tapu Fini set. We're bringing Aerial with the Kevia Berry. The Kevia Berry reducing super effective poison type moves. Moonblast, Aqua Ring, Surf, and Taunt. So, Moonblast hits so much of his team. Moonblast absolutely hits an absolute ton of his team. We one-shot Pheromosa. Max attack banded Adamant, Poison Jab from Pheromosa through the Kevia Berry with this bulk is a 4-hit KO. And yeah, Life Orb, or I think that was for Life Orb, not Band, not Life Orb, because he can run, actually he can run Adamant Life Orb, that's what this calc was for, Adamant Life Orb. Surf and Moonblast are just really good to have on his team as far as spamming goes. 20 in special defense allows us to be 3-hit KO'd by Whimsicott and Giga Drain, and we can go for Moonblast, we can taunt it so it can't use any of its prankster moves as well. Surf hits things like the Entei, Surf hits things like the Gengar, Surf hits things like the Electros, the Espeon, things like that. Just good water stab. Have Landorus Therian as well. And then, yeah, taunt. We're a little bit faster than Vaporeon, so if we can taunt that thing before it can go for anything, we can just kind of sit in front of an Aqua Ring while it just tries to scald us. We do set our own Misty Surge, so that way it can't toxic us, it can't burn us with scalds, things like that. So yeah, we'll be able to do that. Actually, I'm gonna paraphrase because I don't know if Scald Burn's still affecting the Misty terrain because someone's gonna call me on the comment section. So we'll find that out in the battle. But that is what this spread is for right here. Next up here we have Goob, the Slurpuff. Very interesting Slurpuff set. Focus Dash, Unburden, Endeavor, Sticky Web, Drain Punch, and Play Rough. Max attack, max speed. I'm not using the 4 the EVs for that. 0 HP IVs, 0 defense IVs, and 0 special defense IVs. I want to make sure I am brought down to my Sash and I get my Unburden off because I can. He has like the Pokemon that I would love to click Endeavor on: Mega Aggron, Landorus Therian, Entei, Electros, Haxorus. Those Pokemon have no reliable recovery. So like Electros gets Drain Punch and Giga Drain, but I'm not too certain he'll bring that. Drain Punch and Play Rough are really good to have against his team. For things like Pheromosa, things like Landorus Therian, things like Mega Aggron. Both of those really hit his team pretty hard. And then after our Unburden pops, we're able to get that up. But Sticky Webs helps out against his team. He's got a lot of really, really fast Pokemon that I would like to help out. We've got 2 forms of speed control this week in case this one fails. Like he does have the Defoggers and he does have the Rapid Spinner. So this is just a thought right here. If I can get Webs up, that'll be really, really cool. Next up here, Firepower, the Victini. Fire EMZ Victini with the Victory Star. V-Create, Bolt Strike, U-Turn, and Glaciate. 140 attack, 180 special attack, 188 speed with the Naive Nature. After Rocks, Glaciate, Oko's offensive Landorus Therian. We also had speed offensive Landorus Therian. Fire MZ V-Create hits the Mega Aggron super freaking hard. The Gosh Diggity Darn, or V-Create, and V-Create in general just hits his team very, very hard. Bolt Strike is there for the Vaporeon, U-Turn's there for the Momentum. Nothing too crazy there. We've got the speed that we need, the special attack that we need, and the rest on attack just to kind of make sure V-Create and Bolt Strike do a ton of damage. Next up here, Loud Noises, the X-Cloud, Life Orb X-Cloud with the Scrappy ability, Boom Burst, Ice Beam, Fire Blast, and Work Up, max HP. 4 in defense, 252 special attack with a Quiet Nature, and 9 IVs and speed. So the other thing that I want to bring up is that on our Cresselia, we do have Trick Room. This thing underspeeds Mega Aggron by 1 point, and we are able to fire off huge Fire Blast. And if we're not in Trick Room, he can't go for like an Avalanche, and Heavy Slam still hurts because it's a heavy Pokemon, but it's not going to be doubled by like Avalanche or things like that. So being able to go for a workup and firing off a Boom, he has no switch-ins. He has absolutely, like Gengar switches in on Boom Burst, but it doesn't want an Ice Beam or a Fire Blast. +1 Fire Blast, Life Orb is all, even just Life Orb Fire Blast is doing an absolute ton of Mega Aggron in general. Next up here, Tanga Berry, Cresselia. We're bringing 2 berries this week, which is really interesting, but it's to kind of help with the Pheromosa threats. Trick Room, Moonblast, Ice Beam, and Moonlight. Max HP, 108 in defense, 148 in special attack with a Quiet Nature. With this, we are able to take a Jolly Life Orb U-Turn. It does less than 25% to Cresselia. We can go for a Trick Room. Moonblast and Ice Beam are very good to spam against his team. Moonlight for the recovery. Also really cool. Something to note that I do need to remember about the Cresselia is that because we will be under Misty Surge, we're not touching the terrain because we're levitating, so we can be toxic, which is something that I got to be careful of. But Moonlight for the recovery. Trick Room just to get some speed control on some of his faster mons. Moonblast hits Pheromosa. Ice Beam hits Lando. Ice Beam and Moonblast both hit Mega Aggron and Vaporeon, which I really don't want to deal with, but Moonblast hits Persian. Ice Beam hits Whimsicott. Entei kind of does well this a little bit, but Ice Beam hits Gengar, Moonblast or Ice Beam hit Electros. Moonblast and Ice Beam both hit Haxorus and both hit the Espeon. Last but not least, Leftovers Croak with Intimidate. Just kind of help out with things like Lando, help out with things like Entei, help out with things like the Haxorus as well. Rocks, Aqua Tail, Earthquake, and Knockoff. Max HP, max attack, 12 in defense with a Brave Nature. We underspeed almost everything, if I'm not mistaken. Uninvested Vaporeon and uninvested Mega Aggron. And uninvested Electros will underspeed us. But other than that, we underspeed everything. So we'll be faster in Trick Room. We can go for Aqua Tail against things like the Lando, go for Earthquakes, go for knockoffs and things like that. Nothing too crazy here this week, guys. This matchup was really hard. He's got an incredible team. With playoffs really not on, with playoffs not really in, I'm not too concerned about making playoffs, nor do I think my spot is in that big of jeopardy. So kind of just tossed the team together, if I'm being completely honest. I figured I'd explain my thought process on it and all that good stuff. So hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns on the team, feel free to leave that in the comment section down below. You guys go check out Shadow Link's channel. I'll be sure to link it in the description of this video as well. Hope you guys are ready for the match tomorrow. All that being said, I want to remind you guys to be great and do great. I'm gonna let this outro bang. I'm gonna talk to you all soon. Later.